The Blue Boar Inn was one of medieval Leicester's principal inns, a place where the wealthy would stay when moving around the country, aristocrats, wealthy merchants and so on. I suppose in a way it's like the sort of grand hotel of its time. And it's particularly significant for us because that's where Richard III is said to have stayed on his way to the Battle of Bosworth in 1485. The notebook in the collection of the Goddard family at Newton Harcourt is something that we stumbled across by accident. We were actually looking at some interesting watercolours of Leicester Castle Hall, and Joe mentioned that they had some other notebooks which might be of interest, and so whilst flicking through one of them, there were clearly some drawings of a timber frame building, and it was immediately recognisable as the Blue Boar Inn, which had been recorded in an engraving by the artist John Flower in the early 1830s. This is just one range of a much bigger building. Yeah. So looking through this notebook, what was quite thrilling about it really was that the drawings were so detailed. It showed how the building was put together, all the timber framing, the joints, the mortise and tenon joints, the peg holes, all annotated with measurements in feet and inches, such that theoretically you could put together a drawing that was completely accurate of the Blue Boar Inn as it was shortly before it was demolished. And what was also quite interesting was getting an idea of why Henry Goddard had actually done these drawings. It's a very rare example of somebody over 150 years ago actually recording something before it was destroyed. Recording for posterity, disappearing ancient Leicester.
Indeed, I think they were positively eccentric at the time.
So having the notebook and all these amazing detailed drawings, it made me think that perhaps we could produce a reconstruction of the Blue Boar Inn to modern standards. So I made contact with a young architect called Stephen Davis, who's worked on historic building drawings before, and he was very interested in getting involved in the project. And Stephen has done an amazing job in actually sort of doing a bit of detective work through the book, working out which drawings relate to which bits of the building, and he's put together a series of drawings that show how the building fits together, and also he's created a computer model which can be rotated, and you can also sort of fly through the middle of the building as well. The other really exciting thing that we've been able to do is to print out a version of the CAD drawing in 3 dimensions. So the university has a rapid prototyping machine which has produced a 1:50 scale model of the Blue Boar, showing all the timber framing, the windows, the beams, the mouldings and everything. And it really, really helps people to visualise what the structure might have been like. Leicester, because it's a very successful town, has lost most of its medieval buildings. Most were demolished well before the 20th century. And so to get this Blue Boar Inn archive of information was quite remarkable for the history of Leicester. And I think what's important about this is it's giving us an insight into the technology of carpentry in the high medieval period and how it would have been used for entertaining high status guests such as Richard III.
Terrific.
It's sort of enough information if you ever wanted to build a new one ultimately,
yes,
based on Henry Goddard's drawings.
Yeah.